and this would take me about 3 weeks to get through there in the end. But I was getting into a different environment, and another beach with beautiful boulders on it as well. And sometimes there can be so much foam that you can be suffocated by the foam almost. There's meters of foam that comes off the water sometimes there. Anyway, I continued along that, and I had to climb up a waterfall there as well. There's markers there, and amazing waterfall coming down the cliffs straight into the sea. And I climbed up that, and then I made another campsite there, and then continued along for the next day as well, through this slightly drier environment as well. I could move a bit faster as well, and there's mud around as well. There's photos of people in the southwest with mud, in mud up to here. Luckily I didn't encounter anything like that, but some parts of that section were a bit muddy. And then I found a camera as well, digital camera, someone's camera, so I picked that up and continued along, and I could see the coast as well. You could see the ocean a lot of the time, so it was a different feel, and that's what people go there for as well, that kind of atmosphere. But I continued along, and eventually I got to South Cape Rivulet, and that was kind of a magical moment for me because there was the sign that said Port Davey, which was where I'd come from, near there. And I'd been to that point with Dad, South Cape Rivulet, because you can just walk in there on the beaches and stuff from, there's maybe it's 3 or 4 hours away, something like that, the walk, and there's a car park. It's the southernmost road in Australia where we leave from, Cockle Creek, and that's where I was heading at this point. But I made it to the South Cape Rivulet, and it was blasting down with water. There was tons of water coming down there, and I thought, how am I going to get across? It didn't look like I could cross it, and it was the last one. So it was like a mirror or a reflection of the start at Crossing River. This was my exit out of the kingdom, out of this magical world. There's just one more barrier to cross, because I knew if I crossed that, then it was a normal walk, because people walk up and down those beaches all the time without too much preparation or anything, just the weather, that's all. You're not going to get trapped anywhere or anything like that. And I knew that was the last obstacle. And so I tried to cross it first, and I thought, I can't get across, I don't know where I can cross. And then I was looking at the current and stuff, and waves were coming in as well from the ocean and filling it up again as well, so I didn't know where I could cross. And again, I had this image of me just jumping across it, because it was only 5 or 6 meters or something. But the reality is you move slowly when you've got a big pack on and you're going into deeper water. But I was looking at the current and stuff and seeing how the waves were breaking and things, and thinking, is that actually a bit shallower or something? But I waited till the next morning, and even on the sign there was someone had written to one of their friends, hey, wait here, we will go and get help, because someone must have been too scared to cross as well at another time. It was the only way to communicate with the person. His friends or her friends must have gone before them and got out of there, but they must have been behind, and the friends must have realised it was too dangerous to cross. So I woke up first thing again next morning, ready to cross, hoping that the waves had dropped off and the rain had subsided. But it doesn't matter, because even if it rains further in the interior, then it comes out. So there's always more water coming through. And I think I had a stick again. I was checking. I thought, wow, this is only up to my shins. And then got across a bit further, and then it dropped down to my ankles, and I was across. And I let out a cry, and I pulled out, I had tears of joy, and I pulled out my last piece of chocolate, last big piece of dark chocolate, and I was singing that I was going home. Put on my pack, and I walked along the beaches and stuff, and I knew that I could relax. I'd survived this world and experienced this world that Dad had been in so much, and finally that little dream that had become a big dream, I'd done it. And I was walking out along the beaches, walked past what's called Lion Rock. It looks a bit like a lion, like the Sphinx or something like that. and I saw a lyrebird as well on the way out, and then walking along these just normal tracks. And I had a phone on me, but I couldn't get a signal with it. It turned out that they'd given me a SIM card for internet rather than a phone card or something like that, so it wasn't even usable. And I got out to Cockle Creek, so the southernmost road in Australia, the exit of this place, and there was a British couple there, and I tried to talk, and I couldn't talk because I'd hardly talked to anyone for 3 weeks, and just this garble came out, I think, and they gave me a Mandarin, and then I saw that there was a payphone. I said, "Oh, do you mind?" And they gave me some coins for the phone, and that saved me. Just the fact that the phone was there, that's the only thing. So I just called up my stepmom, called her to come in, and she was going to come in with her sister. And it turned out that our home phone was broken as well at home, and she'd been trying to get it fixed, and she just managed to get it fixed in time, because she felt that I was going to be coming out, because I said that it might take this long. I said it might be 3 weeks, even though it should have been 8 days or 10 days or something like that. I said I'm not going to rush, and I didn't rush, because that's how you stay alive, just to take things slowly in those certain circumstances. Called her up, said yep, I'm here, and then it was a long wait, and then she came after about 3 hours, I think. And in this place back in the past, there used to be whales everywhere, and they say you used to be able to walk on the whales. Pretty much, there were so many, but maybe those days will return again. Anyway, my stepmom arrived in the car, same car that she dropped me off in, and we got out there. We started to leave, and I was famished. I was absolutely famished. I realised that then, and we stopped in a place called Huonville, I think, or near there, and got a pizza, and I ate the whole thing. I demolished it, and I could feel my body just absorb it, and that continued. I had meat in the mornings, which I'd never do, like I'd have cereal and stuff, but I still wasn't even sick of the muesli bars that I made. But I had heavy food in the morning, and I needed more protein, and I did that for about 2 weeks, I think, because my body needed to reabsorb all those nutrients and stuff, and my legs, from about 100 leech bites, they were swollen as well, and my hip was popping out a bit as well because of the tension and stuff. I walked up the stairs and felt my hip joint pop out, and I fell on the stairs. My body had to readjust itself to the normal world, and then I met up with Joseph and another friend Tom, and we had a pizza on the other side a week or two later, and I was back into the world, back into the civilized world, and it was another absolutely incredible adventure, a life-changing adventure, extreme kind of thing that I didn't need to do again. I'd done it once. If I tried to do that again, I would probably die. That's the reality. I was just very, very lucky not to get hurt, and that certain things didn't happen. And even with that camera I found, then I took it out to the airport where they do the light aircraft flights, and because I thought it had been some people had flown in there, and they dropped their camera, and they found the people who owned the camera as well. So that was a nice ending, because they had their photos from the trip and stuff, and they turned out that they'd come down from Melbourne to do that walk to Tasmania. And so that was it. Another amazing adventure.